Hello, my YouTube family. How are you? I'm Helen Sadler, your Destiny Helper, coming back to you once again, answering your many questions. Thank you so very much for our new subscribers, and thank you for those who have already subscribed. And thank you for the emails, the questions, the comments. It means so much. Many of you are asking the question. I have went no contact. I've been no contact for at least 6 months to a year. I ruminate still over the narcissist, and I'm still not myself. What is going on? I'm still trying to find myself. When you have been involved in a narcissistic relationship with someone with NPD, it can be quite draining from the experience, even though it's historic that you've had with the narcissist. And based on the time that you spent with the narcissist, that's how much draining of your life that you have given to that narcissist. The narcissist require everything. The narcissist would take up all of your time, all of your mind, your thoughts, your desires, your goals. And so all of that was given to the narcissist. Even if you had children with the narcissist, and especially if you have spent decades and years and long-term time with the narcissist, you lose yourself in the process if you don't know how to fight to keep your mind, to keep yourself, to keep that positive avenue going in your life, and to have a support group. A support group is vitally important when you're with a narcissist, because it is so easy to get lost in the concept of who the narcissist is and totally forget about who you are. And many times the narcissist requires so much, and their insensitivity to your emotions, and you are constantly trying to make the relationship work. You're constantly trying to pull the weight of the relationship. You're constantly trying to prove yourself. You're constantly trying to make things, the atmosphere of the house, conducive to what the narcissists need. But the goalposts keep changing. The boundaries keep changing. The promises are keep being made. And then the narcissists, which go through the pattern of disrespecting you, because when you stay with the narcissist, the relationship grows common. And as you know, sometimes the narcissists need this shiny new toy. And so this is how a lot of times you get serial cheating within the relationship. And that can happen within any relationship. But NPD come with its own criteria, its own set of standards and rules and characteristics. And it doesn't consider most relationships. Consider when you care about somebody, it's mutual. There's a mutual understanding. There's a mutual conversion. There's a mutual conversation. And when you get problems, you work it out because you want the relationship to work. Why? Because both of you are putting in equal effort to make this relationship work. That is not the way it is with the narcissist. The narcissists want you to do the work. If anything go wrong, you get the blame. The narcissists put the pressure on you, while the narcissists want the freedom and the liberation to do whatever they want to do, but they do not give you the same options. The narcissists want you tied down to the house. That's why when you first have the relationship, that relationship moves so quick. That relationship moved. You didn't have time to really think. The narcissist, they see you were in love with the narcissist. You were being love bombed, and many of you got pregnant almost immediately. And then within 3 months, the narcissist was wanting to be married. You already met the parents, and so you're thinking that this is going to work, because 3 months with a narcissist can seem like you knew each other for years, because they knew so much about you. They were very hyper intensive in listening, watching your facial expression, watching what you didn't like in the beginning of the relationship. And in the beginning of the relationship, it was an attention and understanding that you never had. And so they seemed like they were the perfect person. And people said narcissists are very selfish. When in the beginning, they don't seem selfish. In the beginning, they seem very generous. They seem very kind and very understanding and very giving in that time. And they seem like they understand you so perfectly. But you notice they're very observant. And it's almost like looking at a mirror of yourself. Somebody finally understands you. Somebody somebody finally hear you, and next thing you know, you open your heart. They dove in your heart. They dove into things that you don't like. They dove into things that you've been through, and then promises are made not to cross those lines that have been crossed. And so now you're with the narcissist. You've got 2 years in, and then promises and discard, and then they come back. You got 4 years in, and you may have even left within that 4 year period, but you came back. You may have left twice, but you came back. And some of you didn't leave at all, but you made the promises was made. I promise that I'm going to do better. Next thing you know, you're 7 years in, you're 8 years in, you're 10 years in. And one day you wake up and you can't take it anymore. I have a video that you can look at, and it's when the supply has had enough. Please go visit that video. It will really encourage you. It will really strengthen you. And the next thing you know, you got all of this time into a relationship that is recycled, is recycling, is going the same place, is circling. You've seen this landmark before. You've seen this place before. You've heard this word before. You felt this way before. You notice that you're getting tired. You notice that your dreams are dissipating. You're noticing that your goals are getting far away. You're noticing that little things now take a lot of effort. You're noticing that the children now, they seem like there's an unrest. There's an unsettling. And as time go on, there's more unrest. They're more unsettling. You never rested in the relationship with your husband, who is a narcissist, with your wife, who is a narcissist. And you never rest. You never got the confidence of being loved, being cared for. You never had the security of being a wife or being a husband. You never had it. And you were always fight or freeze. You're always, the cortisone in your body is rising, and you are now trauma bonded because you keep having hopes that they would change. If I do this, if I stay in here, if I hang in here, if I get them to believe that I'm the one, if I get them to believe that I won't leave them, I won't abandon them, because many of them will tell you they have abandonment issues, rejection issues, and what has happened to them. And so you stay hoping that things would change, hoping that things would turn around. And then one day you wake up and that's it. You've had enough. I can't take anymore. You leave. And when you leave, some of you leave with the children, and then you go NC, and you've been NC 6 months, you've been NC a year, but you find yourself ruminating. You can feel them. You look around the corner, it's like they're looking at you. You're in the house, it's like they are there, and they're still touchable, tangible, even though they're not there. They're invisible, but you can feel their presence. They're still in your heart. And then you're wondering, when am I going to get myself back? When do I become who I know that I was? I'm out of touch with me. I'm out of touch with my mind. I'm out of touch with my memory. And I want to know her again. I want to know him again. I've lost so much over the time. I've given so much over the time. You look for support group. You go to a therapist and you stay in C. And one day you look in the mirror and you look in your eyes and you can't find yourself still. What do I do? You're going to have to rebuild just like you was broken down over the years. It took time to break down your mind, to break down your emotions, to break down your will. It took time to move the goalposts of your goals and your passions. It took time. You got a business, but you couldn't put your whole self in it, and you almost lost it, but you was predetermined. No, I am not going to lose this. So you fought, and you still have the business, but it doesn't have the savvy that you know that it can have. It doesn't have the buildup that you know it can have, but you refuse to let it die. Like you found yourself slowly dying, and you knew that if I don't leave, if I don't catch myself, and many of you that are still there, you're catching yourself. I'm still here. I'm still going through, but I love him. And when you look at him, you look at years, you look at time, you look at investment. You no longer see what he did. You see what you want. You see what could be. You see all the possibilities, but you can't find yourself. You are still lost. And what you do when you're still there, you have to find a support system, a support group that will build your mind, mind. You have to get positive affirmations, and you have to do it all day, every day, because you got years you have to make up. When you invest over the years, that investment should gain profit. Why? Because if it don't, you need to sell, because it'll go right out. You'll lose everything you got. And you didn't sell when the profit margin was lessening and lessening and lessening and lessening. You kept putting into it. You kept putting into it. But the profit margin kept falling and falling and falling until the product had no value. And your investment had no value. No value. And now you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're asking, where are you? I know you are still there. I can see you. I can feel you. I can hear you sometime. But it's hard to reach you. It's hard to tap into you. You are still there. The wonderful person you are still there. The Bible said God has fearfully and wonderfully made us. The mind that you had when you met the narcissist is even more keen with the experience of pain that you had, because you have grown from your yesterday. You've grown from the little child that was easily deceived and ignored all the red flags. You have been through a lot, and you have an extension of yourself called children that you have with somebody who is invasive with your emotion, but evasive with commitment. And now you wake up and you see this woman who has become a shell, who has become a form, but deep on the inside of her, even though she seemed hollow, there is a bullhorn that is vaguely crying out, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm here. I'm present. Reach for me. And what you have to do at that time is make up in your mind. You have to see beyond the now. You have to reach into your future. You have to reach in the innermost part of who you are. You are still powerful. You are still as smart and as intelligent, even more so now, because the scars that you went through, the fires that you have to put out, the running, the standing, the believing, the praying, the trusting, the distrust, the betrayal, the serial cheating, the not knowing when he will come back, the not knowing if she's leaving again, the not knowing if they've fallen in love with someone else, because you didn't know what you had. You had no idea what you were into. And one day you discover it's not a regular relationship. You're actually with a narcissist. And there are traits in them that's not changeable, that's not turnable, that will mature. And even though they can make decisions, they won't. They refuse. It's too convenient. It's too popular. It's too prestigious to be the way they are, because they can manipulate, they can dominate, they can control, they can rule, and it works for them. And what works for them hurts others, especially you, because you're the closest one. And you got to remember, the closest one to the narcissist, they get the worst abuse because you're touchable and they're used to you. And you done pulled out every shiny toy out of your life. You done given every shiny glittering thing that you can give them. And they're no longer fascinated. But the investment, they know not to leave, because you are prime and a prize. And you work for them, and they're good. And you excuse them, and you forgive them, and you give them chance after chance, and losing yourself with every forgiveness, losing yourself with every chance you give, losing yourself with every opportunity that you say yes again. You slowly escape. You feel yourself being pushed back like on a ship that is on a long journey, except this ship is far away and the sound of the ship is being vaguely heard. And that ship is your life. It is your mind. It is your goals. It is your strength. When the alarm clock sound, don't put it on snooze. Can you find yourself? You are in there. That's what kept you. God and the will of to survive. But I'm telling you, you don't have to live as a survivalist. You can live as a thriver, as a conqueror, as a victor, not a victim. Every scar that you have can be very meaningful. It can be a college education. It can be the degree that gets you through life. It can be the position of recognition. It can be what you reach for others. It can be the words that will pull somebody else out. It can be the voice that is draining and you jump in to save because you understand, you can identify, and you can empathize. Just because you lost yourself in it don't mean you can't regain yourself with it. Life is a gift. It was already paid for. And the narcissist didn't pay anything for it. What did you pay to be who you are now? You said, but I don't even love me. Maybe if we introduce yourself, reintroduce you to you. Maybe when we move all the smog, all the fog, all the smoke, all of the things that covered you up, all the things that hid you away, all the things that isolated you, that fantabulous, masculine man will come forth. That beautiful, powerful, strong woman will come forth. You can be again, and you will be again. You invest in the narcissist, take that same investment and reinvest it in you. You are on the stock markets of life, and these stocks are very high, and the yield is very high, and the profits are very high. And you, my dear, are awesome. Get up, open the curtains of life, let the sun shine into your dreams, into your goals. Get your energy back through investment. Take the time that you need to take for you. You've given the narcissist and nothing satisfies them. Now it's time for you to make some deposits and some investments in yourself. Get around positive people that the narcissist has not influenced, that are not flying monkeys. And then the people he know gang stalking. No. You get around a new group of people that are strong, that are invigorating. Talk to them away from the house. Go to the library. Go to the store. Meet somebody. Give a positive word. Get back a positive word. It may be a 5-minute conversation, but you got 5 minutes of strength that you can ruminate on, that you can meditate on, that you can be repetitious, repeating it and announcing it and announcing it. I'm getting up. I'm going forth. I'm getting up. I'm going forward. Get in the mirror and say, girl, you got to get up. You got to do it again. Make up your face. Put on your clothes. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. And you look so beautiful. Life is huge, and it's for you. No contact, and you're still ruminating. Let's put something else on your mind. Because you gave it your all. Now it's time that you give it to yourself. You, my dear, my friend, you deserve every bit of it. Young man, get up. Young woman, get up. Life is calling you. I hope that this helped. As always, with every video, we only do portions so we can come back again and do more on the same subject. I really appreciate you writing me, destinyhepper12s@gmail.com. destinyhepper12s@gmail.com. Write me. Let me know how this really blessed you. Give me 3 things you're going to do for you. You already in C. Don't break it. Don't violate it. And don't say anything negative when you look at yourself in the mirror. Because when you first see you, you see your pain. You see your scars. You see your experiences. And it doesn't look very beautiful. But if you keep looking at her, you keep looking at him, you're going to see a champion, a warrior that made it through. And one day you're going to look at yourself. And you know what you're going to say? I like you. I love you. I appreciate you. Welcome to my world. Write me. I'm Helen Sadler, your destiny helper. Don't forget to subscribe. Push that bell, and every time I upload a video, you definitely will know about it. If you want to do a Zoom chat with me in a session, if you want to have an audio session with me, write me. destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. We can make it happen because I'm telling you, he is in there and so is she. She is in there. The experience that you have is going to be the power that you use. God bless you.